experience a wave of relief, which is the same reason why someone returning from a funeral will crack a few jokes, feel the need to smile, to make love, to be with others and talk a little, to play with the kids. Because once you've gotten so close to death that you can almost smell it, it's nice to feel alive. So that night, the people who had heard the sirens shriek by had left their houses and found themselves on the street with neighbors, friends, and others who were familiar, since in a town of less than 1,000 inhabitants, that's in winter, they all said, in summer the population is much greater. Everyone knows one another to some degree. They found a dead body, people said. And as they said it, they felt chills run up and down their spines. Because death is something dark, a black hole that arouses great fear even when it only brushes you. If I heard right, it's a boy, they said. A drowsy child in someone's arms would rather have stayed home and slept. And if they'd been going to take a stroll through the nighttime street market or have a beer at the Centrale, maybe they would have left him at home. But when you hear that someone has died, it's almost as if the ghost were still hovering around, and no one wants to leave the children alone, or even the dogs for that matter, who had mistaken the unexpected outing for their morning walk and were peeing full blast. I heard it's a girl from around here, others said. And then there's a long suspended moment. No sound, like a photograph. Enrico's profile outlined by the beam of his VW Beetle's round headlights. Maurizio and Betty entering the woods, approaching, being stopped by a policeman. My brother, sitting next to me, his jeans muddied with damp soil. When this long moment passes in which nothing seems to stir, like a snapshot left teetering on the brink of an abyss, a whole lot of things will happen. Terrible words will be spoken, because another person was killed not far from here, and soon other lives will be swallowed up by the secrets that this night will bring with it. Because you can't escape secrets. You think you can have secrets, that you can keep them, but in the end they possess you. Do they know who she is? They asked. And to think that it was such a lovely night, such an important summer. I was 25 years old. I had recently graduated without ever attending a class, and in the fall I was to leave that house, that town, that life made up of things always decided by others, never by me. That evening I had been to a party with Enrico. A few years older than me, he worked in a prominent architectural studio in Rome. He wanted me to go away with him, at the end of the summer. There had been a time in our relationship when I was sure that things would go exactly that way. But that night, I had to tell him something that could change everything. It's Giancarlo's daughter, they said. They always said that. And until I went away, I would never be anything else. That's how it is in small towns where everyone knows everyone else. I, on the other hand, liked losing myself in a crowd, walking among strangers. Just try it in a town where if they see you taking a walk by yourself, they assume you're a bit odd. Some will surely say that's the reason why things went the way they did. Because it was odd. Because people need to console themselves when faced with death. They need to persuade themselves that there is always a reason, like there was for the German who had eaten too much before going for a swim. People need to convince themselves that somehow or other, it's always the fault of the one who dies. It's Alice, they said. That's me, Alice. 2. But did you have to go on Friday? Julia's voice coming through the earbuds has been asking him that since he left. Enrico had anticipated her.